Alright, so we're working on the second example now. With this one, we're going to incorporate two different types of patterns in order to do these. It's basically the exact same part in two different spots. So we're going to use a couple different ways of manipulating patterns in order to do that. So I got week 1 example up here, so I'm just going to tweak this, save it as example 2. Alright, so I'm going to go to my tool list. It's got that same 1/8 inch center drill as the first example. Now it's got a 1/4 inch drill. We'll just change this tool number 10 here to a 1/4 inch. Alright, so now we change that. We'll go to our program review here, and we'll just go ahead and delete everything so we can start fresh. Alright, so now we're going to start out with holes, drilling operation, drill, and our Z start, remember above the part, at least 50 thou. And we'll start with our center drill, tool 5. So we'll change our Z bottom to 50 thou. Now we need to have our location here. And so we'll just pick this first point here on the first part. It's off 1/2 inch each way. Alright. So now we got that, we'll go ahead and insert before our locations the second drill, which is going to be for our actual holes. So it's that 1/4 inch drill. So now we'll do our through the part, tool 10. Alright, so now go ahead and go to our program review, and we can see our holes here. So we'll insert before, and we're going to do like we did in the first example and use our rectangular so that we can go in multiple directions at once. So we're going to insert pattern, and we're going to do a loop rectangular. So here we have 5 holes in each direction, and they're typically spaced 1/2 inch apart. So now we've done this, we need to end it after our holes. So we're applying only to the whole block. So we go to our end and insert pattern end. Alright, so one thing we need to do is we need to change our part setup for this part. We have 2 separate parts here. So in order to simplify this, we'll just go ahead and turn our manual stock size off, and the software will figure out where to show the holes at so we can kind of see what's going on. So now we go to draw it. Alright, we can see it pops the holes in. So like the last example, you can see when I draw it, it's actually doing each hole individually. So we're having all these extra tool changes in before. So we'll go ahead and do what we did last time and copy this and paste it. And then we'll delete the whole block for the first one, and we'll delete the center drill block for the second one. So now when we draw it, if you watch close, you can see it does all the center drills, now it does all the holes. So now we have a nice, neat program and do exactly what we want. Looks like I messed up here. This should be -0.6. So that should look a little better when we draw it in isometric. Alright, now you can see the holes are where they should be. Alright, so right now we're only doing one part. So we need to pattern what we've just patterned into two separate locations. So the way we do that is we kind of have two options. So depending on the part you're doing, sometimes you want to do just one part complete and then move on to the other part and do that complete. For this specific setup, we'll just do all of the center drills on both parts and all of the holes on both parts. Kind of just like we did with the individual hole locations. We'll actually do all of the center drills for everything and all of the primary drills for everything. It'll save us time. Some setups you'll want to do just one part and then do all of the next part. It just depends on your circumstances, but for here I'll show you how to do it to save time. So we're going to start at the beginning here, and we're going to insert at the very beginning a pattern. And this time we're not going to use the loop because there's only two parts. So we're just going to specify a location. So we'll use a pattern location. So for our first location, we can just leave it at 0, 0 because we're not moving where we started at. But for a second location, they call out it being 5 inches in X and 0 inches in Y. So it's basically just shifted 5 inches to the right. So our first one's 0, 0, and then we'll tab down and we'll get to the next one. So the next one's going to be 5 inches and 0, 0 here for these other two variables. Now if we go back to review, we can see we're applying that to everything right now. Now if we wanted to do the long way, we could just end it at the very end of the program and it'd center drill and drill all of one part and then center drill and drill all of the other part. This will take a little bit longer, not much time extra, but a little bit longer. But we're going to do it a different way to where we do all of the center drills for both parts and all of the drills for both parts. So the way we do that is you can see our pattern starts. We want to end it before we get to this second pattern right here, pattern rectangular. So where this end is, we need another end. So the easiest way to do that is just click on this end, copy, and paste. So now we have a pattern start, our holes, which we're applying it to, and then two ends. So after it sees the second end, both of these are done. So if we want to apply this to the next section for the 1/4 inch drill, the easiest way to do that is just to copy these two, and then actually don't need to copy the first one. Copy the first one, and then paste it before this rectangular here. And then at the very end, we need one more hole or pattern end, because we have a start pattern here, start pattern here. Now we need to have two ends at the very end of the program. So now that we have two ends here, we're good to go. So now when we draw it, you can see all of our center drills, all of our center drills, and then all of our holes. And that's all you need to do. Alright, so now go ahead and save that out. We're done.